Hey ho everyone, my name is Nocktion and welcome to the Stanley Parable. Now there has been quite a huge hype around the sequel to this game, which is the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. But I heard that it's a completely different experience if you play the original from 2013 before you go to Ultra Deluxe. So I decided that I'm going to play with this, and maybe later I will move on to the sequel. Now this is a narrator driven game, so there's a narrator who is constantly talking to you and is telling you what to do, and you can either follow along and do as he says, or just completely disagree with him with all your existence and get some fun endings. So let's get into it. The end is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is loading.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long
Just
to
love
push
how he's
them,
pressing
and
them
in what order.
with one finger,
This is
like
what
a grandpa.
employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
In the office, in the void.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow.
That took
No
long
one
enough.
showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked,
Okay.
frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Nearly an hour. So he started work at 11. Maybe. Also, this game is supposed to react to basically everything you do. So, no matter what you do, there's gonna be some stuff for it from the narrator. I hate Mondays. I feel that. What if I just lock myself in here?
But Stanley simply
Oh no, I
couldn't
can't open it.
handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had
Exactly.
never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go anywhere except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the
means
one
he's
thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little
That's a
bit
great
closer.
future.
Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
Oh, this is just a restart. The end is never loading. Door. Door.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply
I
missed a
like
memo.
work. I just hate my boss. Mile? File? Pile? Something. Interviewing and interrogation. Interrogation techniques?
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find
Computer.
a trace of his co-workers.
Who farted? Can't go back. Awaiting input. Input. There you go. Can I open the doors? Nice. Room 420 is the only one that has a plant next to it. Just saying. Wow. Okay.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay. Let's just follow along. The computer's shiny.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Do not alter without consulting whiteboard manager. This board is a chaos. You need a new whiteboard manager. Why is it censored there? Please keep the targets on the topic of censored. Employee 417 49 431 405 416. Jim. Who is Jim? Let's go. A lot of percent. Teenagers. Stripes. Colored in segment. I love these charts. They're so useless. Oh, a broom closet.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
That means there's something here.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet.
And there's surely
reason to
something
still
here.
be here.
The broom! There's a broom here.
It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet
So,
FA.
is there really nothing to do here? Pretty sure there's something I can click on or something. Come on.
Are you really still in the broom closet? Standing
Yes,
around
you have a
doing
problem with that?
nothing? Why? Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
This is a wonderful room. There is a broom. Look at my broom.
You do realize there's no choice or anything in here, right?
But if you
I
say it
said
like that,
Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever. I never would have thought to mention it.
then why are you talking about it like that? No other room is openable.
Maybe to you this is somehow its own branching path. Maybe when you go talk about this with your friend, you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my
The broom.
favorite." I hope your friends find this concerning.
Also, that's a very obnoxious pink. Why did I almost say yellow?
Stanley was fat and ugly and really, really stupid. He probably only got the job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is. That or with drug money. Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Hey, I already love this game.
Well, I've come to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead.
That is
Got
exactly
to
the
broom
case.
Closet, explored it a bit, and we're just about to leave because there's nothing here, when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system.
Exactly.
And you collapsed on the keyboard.
Absolutely.
Well, in a situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose. Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer is dead. He or she has fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities.
So
It's
wait.
indicative of the long-term sustainability
Then
of
what
your
are you?
systems. Please remove their corpse from the area and
Narrator.
instruct another human to take their place at the computer, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them. All right, when you've done that, just step out into the hallway.
Is there anything else in here now? I did not open that. Is there really nothing I can click on? Okay, whatever.
Ah, second player. It's good to have you on board. I guarantee you can't do any worse than the person who came before you.
Wanna bet? You wanna bet?
You too? Unbelievable. I'm at the mercy of an entire species of invalids. Perhaps there's
Thank
a
you.
monkey nearby you can hand the controls to. A fish? Fungus? Look, you can hammer out the details. I'm not particularly picky. I'll just be waiting for when you're ready to pick up the story again.
Oh, come on. Really, what are you if you're not a human? Is there anything else here? I guess not. Let's go.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Okay, I'm gonna do that. Bathroom. Let me poop. Oh, it's locked. This room. This is disabled.
Stepping into his manager's
That's
office,
ominous.
Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk
Can I play the piano?
guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
2845.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad,
That was completely by
Stanley
random
happened to
chance.
Input the correct code.
Just sheer
By
luck.
Sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
What's over there? Ooh, a hidey hole. Nice. This is going to turn out as a horror game. And I will be chased by something. And I will need that hidey hole. That's a little unsafe. Also, this is giving me Half-Life vibes. Loading, loading, loading.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Did the lift just break down? Do I have a keyboard on me all the time? It sounds like I'm pressing keyboard buttons constantly. Yellow box.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
If light is on, call external 914 immediately. Extension, not external. Escape. Ooh, big glowy button. I need press.
The
Press.
lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens.
Wow.
What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Yes, I do. I'm curious. Big button.
Now the monitors
Fired.
jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's
Wow.
co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them.
I think I'm employee
eternally monitored in this place
427,
where
right?
freedom meant
There's
nothing.
one camera in the boss's office. Then a staircase. There's a staircase in the corner. 427. That's me. Over there. I think I'm 437. 437? Don't remember. Yeah, that's my office. What is the green glowy thing in the box? Pirate. Who is the pirate? Is that my office? That looks like my office. 427. That is my office. I'm the pirate. 028 is shut down. Button.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No.
I'm gonna go here.
He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's
There's some
control.
strange places
Never.
in these.
It was unthinkable.
There was a monster there.
Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof.
Wow.
The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and
Big red
for
button.
all.
I can't press it. Mind controls
And when at
idle.
last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation,
Electric
to put an
shocks.
end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
Is there anything else here?
Oh, Stanley, you didn't just
No.
activate the controls, did you?
I did not mean
After they
to.
kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself.
No.
Is that what you wanted?
That's not what I was doing. I clicked on the paper.
Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that
Well,
machine can do.
but I
You're
clicked on the
supposed to
papers.
let it go.
You saw it,
Turn
guys.
the controls
I clicked
off
on the papers.
and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's
But I did
emergency
not.
detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are set to
Nuclear?
explode, eliminating the entire
That's a little.
complex.
That's a little
How long till
extreme.
detonation then? Let's say 2 minutes. Now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's
Let's
your
go
time
back.
to shine. You are the
I
star.
want out
It's
these.
your
I want to
story
press
now.
off
Shape it
button.
to your
Can I press
heart's
off button?
desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it.
Nope,
Mere
don't work.
moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each
But
one
why you
of
put
these.
nuclear bomb?
More time to
Nuclear
talk
bombs
about
here.
you, about me.
Nuclear
where we're
buttons.
going, what all this means.
5.
I barely know where to start. What's that?
No change.
You'd like to know where your
energy.
co-workers are. A moment of solace before you're obliterated. All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free.
Button.
Of course, that was merely in this instance
Yellow.
of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever,
Button
pushing buttons
hand.
endlessly and then dying alone.
Pour
Other times, I let the
one
office sink into the ground, swallowing
battered-
everyone inside,
I don't know.
or I let it burn to a crisp. I
Continue.
have to say this, though, this version of events has
Orange
been rather
71.
amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next
Orange.
go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm
Blue.
enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not? These are precious
What
additional
button
seconds,
hit
Stanley. Time doesn't grow on
Alright,
trees.
let's continue. Executing
Oh, dear
button.
me, what's the matter, Stanley? You have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing
Orange
right now.
7-1.
Or did you just assume when you saw that
Can I
timer
press big
that
red
something
button
in this
now?
room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at
Okay.
you, running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little
10.
thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones, or maybe this big red button. Or
Yellow.
this
I need
door.
yellow button.
Everything, anything,
That's
something
orange.
here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game
Is there a
can be
yellow
beaten?
button?
One solved? Do you have any
That's
idea
yellow.
what your purpose in this place is?
I got
Stanley,
1 minute.
You're in for quite a
You
disappointment.
have 2 attempts
But here's a
remaining.
spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to
Scum
keep the action moving
infinito.
along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made
Well, I
humble.
don't know what to do here.
This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy
Red
it
2.
first, so you can't.
Oh no.
Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have
Goodbye,
left to struggle.
Employee
30 seconds until a
427.
big boom and then nothing. No
Can I just
ending.
hide?
Just you being
I want to
blown to
hide.
pieces.
Can I go up there
Will you
somehow?
cling desperately to your frail life?
I
Or
don't
will
know.
you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count. Or don't. It's all the same to me. All a part of the joke. And believe me, I will
But-
be laughing at every second of your
Door.
inevitable life.
Let
from
me
the moment
out.
we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever up.
I guess I'm dead now. But the end is never the end. Even though that seemed like the end. Door. Door.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Door.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I
No
think that
matter
off.
how hard
Don't waste
Stanley
electricity.
looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Wasn't this the other way just now? I think it was. And the door closed behind me. Oh. Wait, is this gonna be like every round there's gonna be a computer? I love that.
Stanley clicked on literally every single door in the office because he doesn't pick up well on cues from his environment.
Come on. Don't be like that.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
There must be a door that opens.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's. Oh,
No,
no,
I'm going
oh,
here.
No, not again. I won't be part of this. I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not going to say anything at all. I'm just going to be patient and wait for you to finish whatever it is you enjoy doing so much in this room. Please
The broom.
take your time.
I want the broom. Okay, let's go. Why can't I take the broom?
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Can I go poop now? Yes, I can. I've got the feeling. Money's for stealing, but not yours, of course. Surgeon, that's a lovely purse. So that's a lovely something that's a lovely purse. Extreme bathrooms. Ooh. Don't kill panda. Indoors monthly. Live. It works. This is the best part of the game so far. This is actually going to take me anywhere. Which was... It just took me back here. Can I go down, up, something, somewhere? Okay, I guess this doesn't take me anywhere. It's just elevate to music. Okay, what if
Stepping into his manager's office,
2845,
Stanley was once again
I think.
stunned to discover not an indication of any human. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk.
I will
That
never.
kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
What? Can I play the piano again? No, still not. There's so many possibilities.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the
I guess I'm gonna
open
fall into that hole.
passageway.
No, I can't. Okay. I'm gonna go back to my hidey hole. It's a nice hole. But I guess nothing will happen. It's a fan. Someone fix that light. Or the elevator itself. Loading.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door
That's
that
still
read
shining.
Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television
That's a lot of
screens.
numbers.
What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Nope. Button.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building. Stanley's
So the
co-workers.
observation
The
protocol.
lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen. And Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place
Okay.
where freedom meant nothing.
What if I jump down? Do I get something for this? Or did I just break the game now? There is a cable. Nope. That don't work. I think I just broke the game. Oh.
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley
Oh,
decided
no.
to go up to his boss's office.
My closet.
hoping he might find an answer
Let
there.
me in my broom closet. Ah. Why you take this away from me?
Coming to a staircase,
Narrator.
Stanley walked upstairs.
My
to
only
the
source of
office.
happiness. It's the same. Oh, this has input. At least I still have my elevator.
Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad. Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway. Kill
Wow.
Cerise.
Actually, I like that. You don't have to go through the same thing over and over again. Because you just can take a shortcut.
Did he have the strength to find out?
Now I'm going to actually try to actually press the off button. Because just now I wanted to press the off button. And I pressed on the papers. And then I pressed the on button. And then I blow up.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed.
Empty
Each bore the
employee.
number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen. and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored
Beep
in
branch
this
beep,
place
error.
where freedom meant nothing.
So what's in the green glowy box still? And I think there are some secrets around here. 431. A lot of
This
them have green
mind
glowy
control
buttons.
facility, it was too horrible
Boxes.
to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
There was a red room there. Oh, that's just the same staircase. But that one...
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it.
I'm pretty
His
sure
own
there are some
life
secrets
in
here.
someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
I'm just gonna go there and press the
Here
off
was the
button.
proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or sad or content. Walking,
Where?
eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another.
Okay,
human
now I'm
life.
going to press
For he
off.
would dismantle the controls one time. Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes.
Oh,
He had won. He had defeated the machine. Unshackled himself from someone else's command.
that's so nice.
Freedom was mere moments away.
Is that birds?
And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened,
Birds.
Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved.
That's the sky.
Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but
Oh,
happiness. Perhaps
so
his
nice.
goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do.
that's really
or
bright.
how to feel.
Bright.
Whatever life he lives, it
But it's
will
nice.
be his.
That's so beautiful.
And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley
house.
stepped through the open door. Stanley felt
So
the
you
cool
don't let me
breeze
see the
upon his
building.
skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
That's very nice. That's a nice ending. So what if I go to the escape?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
For
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a
Input.
memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers. Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
oh, okay, I did it. Didn't want to press for some reason. So that's the other way again. And it closed now. So eventually there's gonna be a room where
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he
something
entered
will
the
jump
door on
scare
his
me or
left.
something. Like, this is such a silly game, but at the same time, it has a really
Yet there was not a single person here either.
scary atmosphere.
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley
My
decided
broom
to
closet.
go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Darling. Oh, that's different. Because the boss knows that what the boss says goes, if the boss has suffered losses, then that's what the boss chose. If you say so. Okay, now I'm happy again. Oh, it's already
Here's the
open.
door, just go.
Why does it seem brighter in here? Now I'm going to escape.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read
Nope.
Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Perfect. Exactly what I want.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
This is a long...
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted
Corridor.
effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Hehe, I'm not that. Well, I'm not that.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his
Well, maybe I
demise,
will be
he
dead.
reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. So he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
I guess bye-bye.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Oh. It's so weird in this game that you can't actually jump. Like, I always want to keep pressing spacebar and nothing happens. And that's very
It would be
strange.
just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
That's
When
really
every
cartoony.
path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Office layout. That's my office. The two doors. The corridor. That's awesome. Stanley's computer. Natural paintings. These are photos. Doors. The office. I wish they had some kind of a reference here. Buttons. Office computers. I don't need that. Solitaire can I play? Employee database. Employee database loaded. Printing. Total employee in database. Total employee in office. 427. And none. There's someone else in the office. Internal clock error. There's someone else in the office. Oh, the credits. Made using source by Valve. Now I understand why it looks like Half-Life sometimes. Office clock. I have only been playing for 5 minutes. That is so cool. Freedom ending. Wow. But I think it has all kinds of things about endings. So, oh, 427, my office. From left to right, the evolution of Stanley's office over time. The first was created in November 2011, second in March 2012, and the third in February 2013. And the mugs have been changing. Interesting. Maybe I come back here at another time. The office. Can I call 914? Yeah, I think there are other endings here as well. So I will just come back to this later. Because I'm kind of really at the beginning of this game.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
Who?
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another?
Who?
No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen.
What with who?
But
I
listen
really
to
don't
me.
understand.
You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let time choose.
Ouch. That's a little brutal. It just doesn't restart by itself. I guess I'm dead now, so I just restart. That's weird. That's very different. That is very weird.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
That is very weird. I don't like that.
Yet there was not a single...
But I wanted to try something. I want to actually press that input. Yes. Oh. Welcome to Stanley Heaven. I'm blind, but Stanley Heaven. And there's a lot of buttons. 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 Is there anything I can do here? Is he saying? Is he saying buttons? Buttons. He really is. What if I only press the buttons? Button. Oh, it is. Okay, this was fun, but I mean,
Someone was following Stanley. He was sure of it. If he checked over his shoulder now, he would surely catch them. It was only a matter of time.
there is someone else in the office. I told you. I turned this off still. Is there anyone there? Anyone over there? No one's anywhere.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he'd come into a
Nope.
staircase.
I'm going to go
Stanley walked
now,
upstairs
down
to
this
his
time.
boss's office. But Stanley just couldn't do
I'm
it.
just gonna go home.
He considered the
Can't.
possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken
Mug.
that risk? All
Coffee
because
mug.
he believed everyone had vanished.
Nut.
His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley.
Cold
Maybe,
drinks.
he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations.
before.
For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did
Oh,
doors
really?
close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they
Yeah,
simply
it is the same room.
No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled.
Okay.
This is all a dream.
Now is it?
What a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He
Okay.
wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring
Is
real-life
this true?
job pushing buttons. I may as
can't
well
go back.
enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it
Well-
too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid?
That's
And then perhaps the
strange.
strangest
That's so
question of them all
strange.
entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd, and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself?
Oh,
Stanley
yes.
is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now,
But then
hearing the
how
voice
he has
speak
been
these
sleep
words was quite a
flying.
shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back,
Okay.
the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself.
And did he
through
wake up at
this
home?
dream, I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job.
Do you have a wife?
All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
Well, not really.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black. This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
What?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Well, I guess Stanley's dead. Well, I guess I went through everything and all the endings that there is to the left side of the two doors. I really love this game. This is amazing. I will surely get back to this, but that will be in another video. So thank you everyone so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.